Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Room here to run. And he takes us all the way down to the Bears' 33. 42 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. Big run on the opening drive, and they better watch out for this guy or it's going to be a long game.
Back when I played in our scouting reports getting ready for games, we put stars next to the guys that we thought were the key players on the other side. There should have been 3 or 4 stars next to that guy's name.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely.
And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared, but I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They run the counter. Peyton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Aldon Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media, will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
Play action. Cutler. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, Charles, you talk about this offense in this Week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this now a 17-game regular season. Because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, you know, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not very much of an advantage. You might be playing well, now it slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
On third down, here's Peyton. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This time, Cutler will throw. They'll roll him out right. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. No score after one on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the give, here comes Peyton. And he's brought down. 40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Peyton will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Well, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he returns this to the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
1st and 10 for Montana and company. Gets this one to Juszczyk. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Breaks through the contact. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Mostert.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Again, it's Mostert.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
Raheem Mostert.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. The extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Hester to return from his end zone.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time, they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Now it's Cutler. He'll drop this off to Payton. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of this. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The point after is good, and that makes the score 14-7.
Hester to return from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cutler sliding out of the pocket. And this one is incomplete.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On second down, Mostert. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense, as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, Cutler. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
These two teams currently going over their final halftime adjustments. We are just about set to get back to it in the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soldier Field in Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Hester to return from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Now they'll look to throw it with Cutler. Oh, he's got Hester complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st down, Peyton. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now Cutler looking to throw. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Bears.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
Well, someone wasn't very happy about that game being tied up. They came right back at him with a big-time return. They want to get back out in front as fast as possible.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
He'll buy some time right. That'll be caught by Rice. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 26 and a first down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Montana. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Brings up fourth down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So a response there to the touchdown on the opening drive of this third quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that, because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second and 11.
Off the play fake. Here's Cutler. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On the give, this is Sayers. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Play fake. Now here's Montana. Flushed out right. He finds his man, complete. That's Rice. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line.
80 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown.
Raheem Mostert
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
Now Hester will get a shot.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards is the pickup there on a 1st down for Chicago. Cutler will throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing here, Cutler. Rolling to his right. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards the pickup there. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 34. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start, but now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You get out the football back for your offense. And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go play action now. Cutler. He's going to take another shot here. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw, because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
They'll roll him out right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 5. There he goes, left side. 30, 10. run. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis. Interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point safely through. And that'll make this a three-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Bears 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Returnable here for Hester. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. It's complete. It's Forte. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. They'll set up to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. A handoff running left is Mostert. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for San Francisco, they move back over 500 now at 4-6.